Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back to Pulling My Handicap Card. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Diondra.
And today we're going to talk to Diondra about her new life.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
So.
Wait, before we get started, for those on YouTube, for those who have the visual, did y'all see that dope ass intro we have?
One time for the intro.
I was going to say they can't answer me. Why did I pause?
My clapping's not working. There we go. Yeah. Hey.
Shout out to Pixel Joe's photography studio. That is actually where we record our podcast each week. And y'all, he has been helping us take this thing to the next level. So if you're looking for somewhere to podcast, if you need videography, photography, if you need a freaking event center, Pixel Joe Studios, Google it, look it up. There's only one Pixel Joe. He's dope.
And he's a cool guy.
He's a cool guy.
We
love
guy.
Joe.
We love
Shout
Joe.
out to Joe.
Yes.
You like how I deflected there?
Yes. But all right, let's talk to my wife about this new life that she has. So, I'll let you tell your story.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. What story?
Let's tell this story. Hold on.
Time.
Before we get into that story,
Okay.
Can we talk about this story 2 weeks ago when you just kind of, I was intoxicated and you said, "Hey, babe,
yeah, let's start there.
I did something." So let's start there. What did you do?
I did not say, "Hey, babe, I did something." Okay, guys. So just to kind of back you up, because I know y'all probably are like, "What are they talking about?" So for those of you who do not know, we have one puppy by the name of McCoy. He is a hound mixed with a Great Pyrenees. And anybody who knows me personally knows I am terrified of dogs. Had bad experiences growing up as a kid. I don't think they're super sanitary. And I just don't think that pets belong in the house. At least I used to didn't. So when I met Brendan had a pet that was cool or whatever, but I was like, "Sir, we will not have pets. If we compromise on pets, they will be outside." Well, me and Brendan had a conversation, I think it was like a little bit before we got married, and he just kind of told me like his thoughts on dogs and why he loves them, and he made it sound all good. He talked me into it. So it was me who initiated that we go and get McCoy. They were having...
Yeah, that's cool. And
I'm trying to get a backstory.
Nah, man, give them what you gave me 2 weeks ago.
So we got McCoy. McCoy's 7 months. McCoy is gone off to training right now. And so about 2 weeks ago, I was scrolling on Facebook, and this girl I used to work with at Starbucks, her name is Joy. She had a picture, oh my God, of the cutest little puppies, y'all. And I don't even think puppies are cute, but these were so they're called Bernie Doodles. And basically it's a Bernese mountain dog mixed with a poodle. And oh my God, the cutest freaking thing I ever saw. So if you know me, I researched. So, I went to her website, checked it out, read about them. They're hypoallergenic. Unlike the Labradoodle or the whatever the other one is, they are not as hyper, which is good for me. So there was like all these perks about this dog. Like, it's cute, and it's also like a really smart, intelligent, calm dog. And Brandon had been saying like, "Oh, McCoy needs a playmate. McCoy needs a companion." And I was like, hell no. McCoy is the one and only. But y'all, this dog, it captured my heart. Like, okay, so it's tricolored, it's chocolate. It just gives all the vibes, and it's going to look so great in our family photos. So my hubby was knocked out. He had actually taken some pain medicine. So he says he was intoxicated, but whatever. I, was like, "Babe, can I get this puppy?" And he said yes. So we got it.
I said, "Diondra, are you sure? I mean, like, is this what you really realize that it's going to take more taking out, and the dogs are going to fight, and boys will be boys because they're both boys."
They're both boys.
But, I'm a dog lover, so I was with it, but I just want you to realize, like, I'm going to be working 10-hour days, so I'm going to need you to,
That's another story time.
I'm gonna need to come home and know that you done took care of these dogs. Not saying that she wouldn't. I'm just saying that it's a lot more responsibility than actually what I think she thinks it is.
So can we get into why I think it's gonna be okay, or that's another story for another time?
Hold on, no, we can get into it. But let me give you a round of applause real quick for getting another dog. I fuck with dogs.
Okay. All right. I'm not gonna lie. I have second guessed myself a couple of times. Like, nah, I need to get my deposit back, bro. I don't know, man. I like my space. I like my time to myself, and I do fully understand. Like, he's a puppy. We haven't even gotten him yet because he's not even. I think he's 5 weeks or whatever. But I think it's gonna be fine. I think it's gonna be good for McCoy.
I think they'll play with each other and they'll be less on you.
That's what I'm
praying.
But
when they are on you,
they're going to get on my nerves.
They're going to get on your nerves.
Yeah. I'm really just hoping that they get along very well. And, obviously I'm going to have some other duties and that's fine. But, yeah.
All right. Let's go on to the next thing. So, what did you do the other day? About 2 weeks. About 2 weeks ago. What you do? Huh?
I mean, we can't just go into it like that.
What did you do?
Okay, bruh. I quit my job.
Why did you quit your job, Diondra?
They had me.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
They had me fucked up.
They had you fucked up?
They had me fucked up. They like,
why did they have you fucked up? Cause
it's too much. I'm not gonna go into the full story, but let's just say, first of all, most of you guys know I was working for Target. Target was cool. I didn't really have no issues with Target as far as managers, leadership. Target was cool. Target actually was trying to promote me into leadership, but I would have had to work. Are you doing that on purpose so your face disappeared? You make me sick. I would have had to work second shift, but Target was cool. Like, I met some dope people. We ain't gonna get into Target. Target was cool. But I also knew Target wasn't for me. I couldn't grow the way I wanted to grow at Target.
Target hit you fucked up because they was playing games. And I'm just going to say that as your husband, I mean, holidays.
Okay, true. I guess comparing it to the job that I actually quit. So there were some pros and cons about Target. Target was easy money. It was easy work. I did not like the pay schedule because I'm not a little kid. I don't need you to dish my money out to me once a week. I didn't like that. They did work holidays and some weekends. I did not like that. And in my opinion, it wasn't real HR. But I mean, like I said, it was an easy check. I didn't have no issues with my leadership. My leadership was cool as crap. My coworkers were cool. That was the first job I had where I didn't really dislike anybody. So there were pros and cons. But me being me, I don't like to settle for less. I like to challenge myself. I'm a go-getter. And I was really at a point in my career, because at this point I thought that was my career, that I wanted to grow. So long story short, I interviewed, got a job in a leadership position, or I was told it was a leadership position. Picked up some vibes that I wasn't quite sure about, not really in an interviewing process, but like within those 2 weeks when you're transitioning, brushed them off, didn't trust my gut, I guess. But I was really excited about this opportunity. Like Brandon can tell y'all, I was lit behind this, and Diondra don't get lit about jobs. But anyways, so I get there and I was trying to be positive about it, y'all. Like, I was like, I love it here. It was out in Bridge Street. It just felt like an upgrade in my career, right? But my boss, man, and maybe it's me, because I always seem to have issues with bosses. I don't know. So let me just break it down to y'all real simple, because I don't want to drag this thing out. So basically on day one, she lets me know, I say, thank you for seeing leadership in me. I'm excited to grow with this team, whatever. And basically she was like, oh, let me correct you. I don't need any help leading my team. I've managed teams of 10 to 15. Like, I got this. This is nothing. I don't need your help in the area. So instantly I'm kind of confused, because my title literally had the word lead in it. Like, I'm just kind of like, okay, cool. I'm gonna brush it off, like, whatever. So then she goes on to tell me that she only does what she called structured conversation. She didn't like free flow conversation. We had to have a status meeting with her 3 times a week. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday were my statuses. And they were structured. So much so structured to the point that when you got in, she literally typed everything you said, and she had everything she wanted to say to you already typed. And she told you that, her statuses each day were basically a repeat because she already had it written out. It was scripted and yeah. Okay. I was a little taken back by that, but I'm like, I don't really know what I thought about that, but I was just kind of like, okay, let's just see how it goes. So I sat through a couple statuses. They were weird to say the least, but I'm still trying to be very, very positive, right? So I'm not going to even get into the details of like some of our encounters. I'm going to just skip to the day I quit because that's all that really matters. But let's just say along the way, there were several red flags, but y'all have to remember that I have experienced abuse on the job. I've had a boss that took me through the ringer. So I chunked it up to my trauma coming back up, and basically I chunked it up to like, okay, just because something looks similar doesn't mean that is what it is. But one of the girls that was under me on my team randomly one day was like, everything that you're thinking about her is true. You're not tripping. You're not in your head. Basically, she's crazy and she's a micromanager, and yeah, it's hell. And I'm like, okay. So anyways, the day that I quit, so let me just back up. So I quit on a Wednesday, I think.
So if I can interject,
yeah.
like I'm sitting at the cigar lounge on my break and Diondra's like, hey, can I quit? And if you know me, I quit a job in a second. I'm sorry.
I ain't got there yet though.
I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm going to quit. Before I let you really piss me off, I'm quitting. Yeah. So, yeah, I was the wrong person to ask because I was like, go for it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So I'm getting to that part. So basically there was an issue on Friday. My boss was off work Friday. She told us she would be available by phone, by Teams message, by email, whatever. She's available. Hit her up. Cool. So an issue pops up. We reach out to her. She's unresponsive, which is cool. You on vacation. Enjoy yourself. Although you said you'd be available, I totally understand, sis. I'm not tripping. So Monday gets there and she goes into some meetings and she realizes that the situation is much bigger than what she thought it was. Okay, cool. So fast forward to like Wednesday. By Wednesday, the situation still isn't resolved. And it's not anything, it's a third party issue, basically. But at this point, she's pissed. And so she puts it on my team. Now, she doesn't acknowledge me at all. Remind you, I'm the lead of this team, but she doesn't acknowledge me at all. She goes to the lady that's been on the team the longest, and she's basically like, fix it. So she gives her like 5 different things to do. Again, I'm the lead on this team. She's not acknowledging me at all. Cool. I don't have no problem with that. So when she's done, I turn to the person that's under me and I say, hey, how can I assist you? What can I take off your plate? I know she just threw a lot at you. I'm here to support. The girl is so freaked out. She's like, nah, she told me to do it. I'm going to just do it. There's nothing you can do. And I'm like, no. So basically I tell her that I am going to draft the email that the boss had asked us to do. We can review it together. We can even send it to her to review and then we'll send it out. So I type up the email. Me and a girl go over it. She's like, we don't have time to send it to the boss. Like, this needs to go out urgently. Just send it. It looks good. Cool. So we send it out. It's Wednesday, so it's my status day. So I go in for my status, and I'm like, yeah, I send out the email. And she goes, yeah, we need to discuss the issues with that email. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's talk about it. So basically what it boiled down to was she told me that I did not format the email correctly, that we don't send out emails in paragraph forms. They need to be bullet pointed and they need to come through her for prior approval and, all these different things. Absolutely fine. So she goes, matter of fact, can you go recall it? Sure. So I go recall the email. By the time I get back to her desk in her office, she goes, well, actually there wasn't anything to be bullet pointed. And I'm thinking, I know, that's why I didn't bullet point anything, but okay. So she basically, and Brenda can vouch for this as well as some of my friends, because I took a picture of my email and I took a picture of the email that she drafted. So what she did was use my exact same verbiage. She put a space in between like 2 sentences to make 2 different paragraphs. And she added, instead, I think I said something like contact the HR department. She added the HR email. Cool. But it was so petty. And the way she was coming at me, like literally in the status thing that she typed up, she's like, don't send out anything else without my prior approval. Like, she just made this big deal about it, right? But I'm still like, you in charge, that's cool. Like, whatever, I have no problem submitting to authority. Cool. So I go back to my desk. I resend the email. She Teams messaged me and she says, "Are you sure you recalled this email? Because I still see it." And I explained to her, "You're still seeing it because you've already opened it. I can't, it's going to fail to recall. I can't recall something you've already opened." Okay, cool. Now, mind y'all, I sit at the back of the office. They got me in the colored folks section. I'm the only black person in here. I'm in the colored folks section. She sits at the very front. She has her own office. This lady storms out of her office and yells, "Girl," which was the first, like, like, who you talking to? You got me. That's where she had me fucked up, when she yelled "girl." So she goes, "Girl, this is still not right." The entire office turns around, because I'm in the back. I'm on the back of the bus with Rosa. So the entire office, in their privilege, turns around and stares at me. And I was boiling, y'all. Like, it took everything in me to stay calm. So the only thing I could utter out of my mouth was, "How?" Like, just that, how? How is it not right? So then she comes storming to my desk, and I'm mentally having to tell myself, calm down, because you coming at me real aggressive. Like, you running up on me in my space. So I'm like,
she didn't know that you went to Johnson.
She didn't know. So mind you, I'm the only black person in the office. I'm like, okay, you have to keep calm in this moment. But I was just kind of thinking, like, where the fuck she gonna stop it? Because if she come in my personal space, then now I feel threatened. You know what I mean? I'm gonna pull one of them. You threatened me. You know what I mean? So she's walking up. Well, at this point, she's like raging up to my desk. And I just go ahead and proactively turn my screen to her, because bitch, don't walk up on, we on the podcast. Lord, don't walk up on me. So I turn my screen to her, and I'm like, this is what shows on my screen. Let's go see what is on your screen. Because at this point, we need to get out of this space, because this could go real left real quick, right? So she looks at my screen. We walk back to her office. We get in her office. I recall her directions to her, and I read it off my notebook, because I write down everything. And I literally say to her, "This is what you told me to do, and this is what I did." So what happened was, she was so eager for me to F up and her to jump down my throat that she did not really look at my email. So when I showed her that there wasn't anything wrong, she places her hand on me and starts petting me, basically, and was like, "You right, you right, you right." Now, she did not apologize. She was just like, "You right, you right, you right." However, in more of a whisper tone. So you try to publicly humiliate me, yell at me, call me a girl, all of this stuff. And then when you realize that you weren't correct, you want to get real quiet. "Oh, you right, you right, you right." No. The disrespect was real loud and real public. So I'm a need for the apology and the whatever to be public as well. But that's not how she played that. So I'm like, okay, cool. Now, mind you, this week I had a new hire on my side of the house under my team or whatever. So I get back to my desk. My new hire has never been in HR before. So when I sit down, she goes, "Oh my God, is everything okay? What did you do wrong? What did you mess up? I don't want to ever do that, because I heard the urgency in her voice and I heard the urgency in your voice. So, like, what happened?" And I'm like, well, nothing happened. Nothing was wrong. She didn't look at it correct, but everything is fine. And she's like, "Well, why was that so intense? Like, why did it have to go there?" And so that's when I realized, like, Diondra, you're not tripping. Like, this girl is a new hire to the department, and she's freaked out by encountering what you just experienced. So she kind of like confirmed that I wasn't tripping. So in that moment, y'all, it's getting close to lunchtime. So I'm sitting here just like kind of like not believing what I just experienced. Because mind y'all, this is day 13 on the job, right? So I take a picture of my email, a picture of the email she told me to send. I send it to Brandon, and I tell everybody I'm going to lunch. Y'all couldn't even focus on my lunch. I called my husband, and he was confused. He like, "So what was different about he really wasn't understanding about the email." And I'm like, that's my point. Like, there wasn't anything. So anyways, basically I'm just like, this ain't me, but I feel like I want to quit. Like, I don't want to be there. Like, I can't do this. I can't imagine going several more days like this.
Clock out.
Yeah, Brandon was like, "Don't go back. Like, fuck them folks. Don't go back." And I'm like, we got so much going on right now. I can't just not go back. And he like, "Why?" Like, he was so calm. And I'm like, okay, like, let's be logic about this. Like, let's think logically. Like, what about the finances? What about this? Do I need to work out a 2-week notice? Do I need to work to the end of the week? It's Wednesday. I can get through 2 more days, right? And Brandon like, "Bruh, quit. Literally, like what he's saying is what he was saying to me. So then I'm like, no, okay, I know that you're being supportive and I appreciate that, but like I don't want to make a decision out of emotion or like real hasty, and then later I'm like, oh my God, how are we gonna pay the bills? You know what I mean? So we start thinking through it, and it's like, wait a minute, we ain't got that many bills.
Quit.
So I told him like, okay, what if I pay my car off? And he like, I mean, if you want to, then sure, but you really don't even have to do that. Like, we're going to be okay. You have income coming in from your Airbnbs. And I'm like, okay, now my wheel's turning. But for my security, because I'm a planner. I'm not an impulsive person. And I wanted to, like, I hadn't prayed about it.
You calling me impulsive?
No.
I'm going to quit. You rub me the wrong way. I'm telling you right now. I'm sorry. I hope this never helped. I hope this never stops me from getting a job. But if you piss me off, I'm going home.
And it was valid because there were so many things, right? So basically, I paid my car off, and I had made up in my mind. We had a meeting that day to follow up from the day she was off. And she had actually asked me to serve in a leadership capacity on the meeting when she wasn't there. So I needed to brief her. So out of respect for her, which I don't even know why the fuck I still cared at that point. She didn't care. But, you know, that's just kind of who I am. I was like, I'm going to go to this meeting. Well, I take that back. I wasn't sure about the meeting because I was like, if she come at me, I don't know how much more I can take. You know what I mean? Like I was having a battle with flesh and spirit. My spirit was like, bro, we've been through this. You've grown through this. You went to counseling for this. We don't do disrespect anymore. Like, we understand our worth. And my flesh was like, oh, but you got to do the right thing. You need to give a notice, you know, all of it. Exactly. So my spirit was telling me, if you sit here and take this, I don't know what I'm going to do. So you just going to have to deal with whatever the outcome is. So I decided, like, I need to go ahead and quit. So I text my coworker, the one that was confirming that the lady was crazy. And I said, can I talk to you in private for a second? And so when we got to the room, she said, please don't tell me you're quitting on me. And I was like, well. And so I kind of recap, you know, called my husband because husband said quit. And do y'all know this lady told me, she was like, you know, I have additional income coming in, but I'm closing on the house. Once I close my house, I'm quitting too. I was like, all right, cool. So long story short, I went to my meeting. You know, she threw a couple jabs, nothing too serious. When I got back downstairs, she had told me I need to send out some more emails, but mind y'all, I can't send out emails without her approval. So I had sent her the drafts of the email. She asked me how the emails went out, and I was like, no, waiting on your approval. And this heifer gonna smirk and laugh. But anyway, so basically, when I got back to my desk, I had about an hour left. And my coworker, obviously, at this point, knew I was going to quit. She texted me and asked me would I stay to the 13th so she'd go to the beach. I politely told her no. And I finished my work for the day. We had hella stuff to do. And she just kind of kept saying, oh, you don't have to do this. No, I'm going to do my work. I finished my work. Once everybody exited the office, I packed my shit. I sent my boss a message, said, hey, are you available? She told me she was not available. So I took my stuff and I left. She called me and I let her know I wouldn't be coming back. And now I am a full-time self-employed entrepreneur.
Which, this is going to be a long podcast, or do you want to end it here?
We can keep going.
So, which I feel like, you know, in order for us to, well, we didn't say this, but Diondra is going to move with me.
Hold on. Are we recording?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Okay.
So, in order for us to move and to be a successful move, Diondra is at home now doing the things that, you know, we both couldn't get done while we both were working.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think it's a better move, you know, and this to kind of give her a transition into life in Anchorage, because I don't think you're going to work other than doing your Airbnb stuff.
For sure. I mean, and that was kind of, you know, that was in the back of my head. I knew this job was going to be short-lived. Once Brennan and I made the decision that we were going to collectively go to Alaska, not just him, I knew that I wouldn't be there no longer than July. So, and that was something he and I talked about. I'm like, babe, it's like 2 months. You think we can make it? And he like, yeah, bro, even if we couldn't make it, we'll figure it out for 2 months. Like, it's just 2 months. Right. I'm like, all right, cool. And when I tell y'all, like, for one, I think I was more so nervous because I hadn't prayed. So I stopped and I prayed. I knew I didn't really have time to wait on the answer, but I was just kind of like, God, I need you to protect me and to carry me, because I hate it, but at this moment, this is what I'm doing. Like, I can't sit here with this lady. I can't.
Right. I'm a firm believer in quit. I'm gonna quit, because if I pissed you off as the employer, you ain't giving me 2 weeks. You gonna tap me on the shoulder and take me on. I've been fired one too many times to not know. You know what I'm saying? You just gonna tap me on the shoulder. So I'm gonna do you just like you gonna do me. Sorry.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, because we were getting ready to move to Anchorage, we had things lined up financially, but it was so many things that had to be done, and I knew those things had to be done, but I don't think I realized until now that I'm doing them, they couldn't be executed to the level they needed to be with us both working, especially with me dealing with somebody crazy. I'm gonna mentally drained when I come home.
Right, and you have less bills than I have, so I don't understand why you shouldn't. Enjoy your time. Just relax. Let your man take care of you.
Thank you, baby. And that's all he been saying, y'all. So this transition has not been easy for me. I think most people, even myself, I thought, like, I always knew that I was going to work for myself one day. I've been saying it. What?
These glasses make me bitch you will do it like me.
Oh, nope. My God. Anyways, I've been saying for a long time that I'm going to be an entrepreneur. Like, I just been speaking that into existence or whatever. But I thought that it would be more planned. I thought that it would be like, okay, this is the day. I'm going to give a notice. I've been and hit this much in income and whatever. Fuck them folks, bro. Like, fuck them folks. So, I'm here now, and it's like, shit, this is real. And it's exciting, but it's scary at the same time.
And then, like, you text me during the day, I'm finna get up. Why?
I do. Y'all been running myself to death. So, like...
Why are you finna get up?
I think because in my mind, I have to, and I know I don't have to, but in my mind, I have to prove to you and myself, this was the right decision. I'm going to still bring to the table. I'm not going to put us in a hole.
Nothing to me, cuz...
And that's true. But y'all, the first day I was like, all right, you need to go to the grocery store, get you some sandwich meat, because you was not going to be eating out. Like, just craziness. But we here now. I am struggling with a little bit of anxiety and just like overthinking. So y'all pray for your girl. But other than that, things have been going great. Like, I can see how God is lining things up. The business is moving in a direction to really flourish. And I'm getting to do what I love doing. I'm designing my third Airbnb every day. Secured a fourth one. I'll be working on that soon. And, the back half of Airbnb, after you get everything set up, is something that I'm really good at, which is the customer service. So I feel like God is allowing me to walk in 2 areas that I'm pretty good at and don't have to deal with nobody else BS.
While we on this topic, like, my job just texts me and kind of like, man.
You gonna quit too?
I want to, but geez Louise, boy, they got one more time to text me some bullshit. Anyway, my bad. I'm sorry.
You cool. But yeah, you're supposed to be interviewing me. Is there anything you wanted to specifically pull out, or you just wanted me to tell all my business?
I just want I want our fans and followers to know that, to help me encourage you to just relax. Like, we at the point now where the third Airbnb should just coast. Yeah. So just sit your ass in the bed and relax for a second.
Man, I did a little bit of that today. Just a little, but I did do some of that today.
Because if the roles was reversed, if I had extra money coming in, I'm laying in the bed. You can't tell me whatever. I'm gonna go out and do my shopping or whatever, but from 9 o'clock at night to probably about 9 o'clock in the morning, I'm kicking back, putting my fingers in between my toes, smelling the jam.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? I'm really relaxing. I'm not finna be out here working. I could have stayed at work for that shit.
That's true. We're on the timeline. I got shit to do. It's still a business. It ain't like I'm just out here chilling. But I hear you. I'm going to try to be better at that. But I'm really reserving that for Alaska. So while you saying all that, I just want you to get ready, because when we get to Alaska, I'm going to live my soft, luxurious life.
As long as you take care of these goddamn dogs, okay?
Well, it might be fuck them dogs.
Nah.
No, I will take care of them at minimum, but I am living my best life when I get to Alaska. Like I've already, like I want to come up with a morning routine, and I'm gonna do a lot of self-care. I might vlog, y'all. I don't know. I'm excited for Alaska because I won't physically be here to deal with nobody's BS. Answer, put them on the podcast.
What's up, Pops?
What's up, man?
Say hello to the podcast. You're on the podcast.
Get out of here.
That's what you get for calling.
I was just about to say, I was watching one of the with AJ, and I was like, I remember AJ from McDonald's now.
Oh. Yeah.
It wasn't quite as big one, but I remember, I was just thinking, like I said, when this and I was like, when he said I got, you got him a job, I was like, I remember AJ now, because I think I might have made AJ.
All right, y'all. Well, we're going to end this podcast to talk to Deondra's dad. We love y'all.
Love y'all. Peace.